Hello everybody, this is Blue and I am extremely angry right now. I have been fuming all day about the Alabama Supreme Court and their decision is saying that embryos, frozen embryos, are considered live. They're considered human with the full rights of the Constitution to back them up. And this is why many of us that are not Christians cannot just forgive and forget Christians and for all their actions. Now, the whole stance on this, have tried to stay neutral in, because of my age I am not actively trying to have more children. Okay, I have my two, I am happy as heck, and that's all I want. But the decision today was full of bullshit. The Chief Justice for the Alabama Supreme Court, in his statement, made several references to God. This man is a Christian and he was using Christian values to make his decision. And in my opinion, that should make his decision, the whole Alabama Supreme Court decision, invalid. There is no official religion in the United States, which means that this man cannot just take his particular religion's big sky daddy and use that as the reference for everything he makes, because it is not an official representative of any religion, because there is none. So this justice was saying that God made every person in his image. Okay, that's in the Bible, but that's not an official U.S. document. And number 3, human life cannot be wrongfully destroyed without incurring the wrath of holy God. Again, the wrath of God. So this justice was basically trying to make his religious views official. And thus, this has to be overturned. I believe that there is no way, shape, or form that this bullcrap should be enforced, because this moron was quoting the Bible and not doing his job. He is a judge. They are supposed to be impartial. They are not allowed to take their personal beliefs and make that a part of any decision. So he was not doing his job. Alabama does not have a state religion. Why? Because the U.S. does not allow it. There is no act in the U.S. government of making any religion the official religion. The U.S. government will not endorse a religion. We have religious freedoms, which means that we can follow any belief system we want, as long as we are not hurting anybody else or ourselves. Okay, so this is bullshit, because now this judge and, these groups of judges, the ruling was 8-1. There was one person out there that I agree with, of those 9. But I don't know how, they're probably all Christians, more than likely, with Alabama being part of the Bible Belt. But they are going to enforce their religion on the state of Alabama, which could have implications for other states, such as right now Florida's having a big to-do about this. And since Iowa does have its fair share of Christian idiots, this could come to Iowa as well. How dare you fucking Christians try to enforce your religious views on me or other people that do not believe in Christianity? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Islam, but you just said all the Muslims have to follow your Christian ideals. They don't have to. They don't have to because it's not allowed. You cannot enforce religious laws on everybody. And so, this is why I cannot forgive or forget. You try to live with the Christians the best you can, yes. But you have to watch them because they're going to pull shit like this. I'm angry. And I think that this decision needs to be overturned. And if nobody is willing to overturn it, there comes a point where somebody might have to do something forceful to explain to them that this is wrong. I don't want to support violence, but sometimes we have no choice. There are other implications to this. Some are more social, and I want to know how they're going to handle it because everything is vague now. There are so many questions that need to be answered. In vitro fertilization clinics, which are trying to help people have children, have had to shut down their practices because they have to have not just one embryo, they have to have multiple. And hopes, I think they put in 4 or 5 eggs or embryos into the lady, and they tried to see how many can take root and develop. And they say half of them fail. Well, if they were human before the procedure and they died, is that going to be considered murder or manslaughter on part of somebody? And then, if they are human, what happens if the couple has the divorce? Does the wife get to go, well, we have 7 children at the clinic, and so I want child support for those 7? It's possible. Society is fucking weird right now. What if you want to know where your children are at? What if they moved, and this is something that I read today, that a lot of clinics move the embryos to a different facility, could be hundreds of miles away, and, what happens if you're going, they kidnapped my kids, they took them out of state, I'm suing. What happens if there's a power failure? I know some of these facilities, most of these facilities are going to have backup generators, but what happens if an act of nature, which these Christians should consider an act of God, happens and this clinic loses power and all that for too long, and 200 embryos are unfortunately destroyed. Is that going to be a mass murder? And whose fault would it be? Are they going to say that the electricians who did not maintain everything properly are now guilty of manslaughter? I don't want to get into the argument of when life begins. I personally believe that life begins at birth. And there are times where the baby has to be delivered premature. And if the baby can survive on its own, it's a viable life form. It is human. I'm not saying that if it needs life support that it's not. But as soon as it's out of the womb and it's able to move on its own, and that, yes, I consider that a life. Okay. There are unfortunate times where the fetus, unborn baby, is a is life threatening, sorry, for the mother, and if she does not get an unfortunate abortion, she could die. And so I believe in putting the mother first, because something might have happened that could be prevented during the next possible pregnancy. And so to say that the mother has to go through as long as she can on the pregnancy, I believe that's wrong, because, maybe it would be better if they, in my opinion, terminate that pregnancy, find out what's going wrong, get that all fixed, and then maybe she could have 2 or 3 more children, no issues. But they are, so many of these Christians, pro-lifers, they're so close-minded. It bothers me. So anyway, I think that Alabama has proven to the nation once again just how stupid they are. Yes, maybe some of you don't know this, but Alabama has been in the top 5 of the dumbest states in the nation. They've been battling Mississippi for several years, and it usually goes back and forth between the two of them. And this proves it. Okay? So if you agree with me, disagree with me, that's fine. Please put your comments down below. And everybody, please, hope you're having a better day than me. Take care. Be at peace.